What's going on, guys? This is Mikeinoid, and today we'll be taking a look at the PSP 3000 model. I'm not gonna lie, I bought this PSP from my local game store back in June, but I was still busy playing the Switch 2 and I never got around to it. But now that honeymoon period is over and I was actually able to find the time to play with the PSP, so I wanted to give my thoughts of the system. This is a Radiant Red Japanese 3000 model PlayStation Portable. This happens to be my fourth PSP that I own. I have two 1000 Piano Black PSPs and a Silver 2000 model. Did I need to buy this PSP? No, but I wanted to have a 3000 model to add to the collection, and red is my favorite color, so I couldn't pass it up. This color was originally released in Japan on October 16th, 2008. Though this is a 17-year-old handheld, it's in really good condition and it works perfectly. The way you can tell what region your PSP belongs to is by looking at the barcode sticker on the bottom of the device. Depending on the last digit of the model number, it will indicate which region it is from. So for the red PSP, the last number is 0, which indicates it's a Japan model. Also, when you're in the operating system, the confirm button is circle rather than cross, so that's another way to tell too. At a quick glance, you can easily tell the difference between a 1000 and a 3000 model PSP. Since the 3000 model is slimmer, it's a bit harder to tell the difference between a 2000 and a 3000 model at a quick glance, but you have several ways to tell, such as logo placement, different size and buttons, and the different ring sizes on the back of the handhelds. I might just be very nostalgic towards the PSP, but I never get tired of looking at it. It's one, if not the best designed handheld of all time, and I just can't get over how good it feels in the hands. The only discomfort I sometimes feel is when I would need to use the thumbstick, but the games I've been playing don't require it, so I've been good. PSP is classic Sony. You have your triangle, square, circle, and cross buttons. You have the direction buttons and L and R buttons that are all satisfying to press. The PlayStation Portable uses its own charging cable, which I don't really mind using. It's just another cord you'll need to remember to bring with you if you travel. The power switch also has a hold option that prevents any accidental button presses, like if you're listening to music or watching a movie. You don't have to worry about closing out of that. The battery can easily be accessed and swapped out if you need to replace it. You have a mini USB port for accessories, a brightness control button, and most importantly, you have a motherfucking headphone jack. Alright. Usually old school portable game consoles use cartridge-based games, but the PSP used Universal Media Disc, aka UMDs. I'll be honest, they're not my favorite piece of physical media. The case that holds the actual disc is pretty fragile, especially when you're taking it out of the case a lot. Luckily, there are replacement cases you can buy so your game or movie will still be usable, as long as it's not scratched up. But when I hear that disc spin in a PSP and I see the little icon load up, all of my troubles just disappear. The PSP came out in a time before your phone was a capable all-in-one device. So back then, it blew my mind that I can play Sonic Rivals 2 1 minute and watch Spider-Man episodes in the next minute. That's good shit. One of the first games I wanted to revisit from my childhood was Need for Speed Carbon Own the City. I spent countless hours in this game and all I ever did was dick around in the free roam mode. You see, Own the City is the portable version of Need for Speed Carbon, which is its own story and has its own set of characters. You see, your brother dies in the same car accident that gave you amnesia, and to find out about your brother's death, you need to take over the city by winning races and doing other fast car related tasks. However, I don't think it ever clicked in my peanut-sized kid brain that I needed to progress in the story by actually doing the races. I just liked outrunning cops and crashing into other cars. Life was just simpler back then, alright? But now I'm actually playing through the story, and I can say this is a pretty fun racing game and a pretty fun game overall. I had to keep reminding myself that there aren't any bananas in the road or flying blue shells, but I was still able to enjoy myself. When I got tired of burning rubber, I can easily watch a movie or show on the same device. I can just swap out a game with a movie UMD and just enjoy any blockbuster hit or silly cartoon I want. And thanks to the mini USB port on the PSP, I can plug it into my computer and load up basically any video I want onto the PSP itself, once I scale it to the correct aspect ratio, of course. Right now, I just have the 8GB proprietary card the PSP systems use, but I plan on getting a micro SD card adapter that lets me have even more storage for super cheap. I can have every single episode of Donkey Kong on the PSP, and I still don't have to worry about storage. One feature that I really like about the PSP 3000 model is the fact that you can buy a composite cable that lets you play your PSP on a TV. This just goes to show how ahead of its time the PSP truly was. It's a bit hard to tell on camera since I'm using a CRT TV, but in person, the video looks great. I do want to note, when I play games on a TV, the game shrinks down a bit. I mean, it's still bigger than it would be on the PSP screen, and the sound is way better than the speakers on the PSP itself. So I think that this is still a really cool feature. And I grew up with the 1000 model, and those unfortunately didn't have the TV option. So this was an all new feature I was experiencing, and it's amazing. Overall, the PSP is just as great as I remember it being. Hell, I think I've even found new appreciation for it. I get that nowadays people want home console quality games on the go, but I feel like we pay the price for that by getting big ass devices that don't fit in our pockets anymore. I mean, just look at the size difference between the PSP and the Switch 2. Like, goddamn. Bigger is better is what they say here in Texas, but I don't think they took into consideration just how convenient it is to slip a handheld into your pocket. Depending on the game you choose to play on your PSP, it may look a bit outdated and gameplay may be clunky, but if you just stick to the classics, then I say who cares if it's not a modern day AAA game? As long as you're having fun, I say that's all that really matters. At least I don't have to worry about microtransactions or being connected to the internet all the time. The PSP takes me back to simpler times, and it's nice to just get away from it for a while, you know? This was not a bad purchase, and I'm glad I was able to talk about my PSP. Honestly, I should take a picture of this beautiful console to remember this moment, and you know what? I should actually do it with the PSP camera. Maybe I'll just use my phone. Well, that's going to be it for today's video. Let me know what you think of the PSP 3000 model down in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching, and of course, I will see you guys in the next one. Take care. Dog, I didn't even talk about the modding capabilities of this thing. The PSP is just that good.